Hello, welcome back. My World 67. This is G-Man once again. On last video, I had mentioned about and showed you the frame for the Marx engines, the motor mounting frame for the Marx engines that I had just created and developed. And had it manufactured here locally, and then I had to go back a little bit, and we had to rework it a little bit, and now we have it to where it is exact. And I promised that I would show you how this thing would come together. Let me get a little better focused. And it's a real simple, quick installation. I'm not going to take long on this video, at least I hope not to. It comes with this mounting frame. There'll be two extra flat washers. Let's see if we can get those in the picture here. And I've got them on the screws. These are the original screws. By the way, all of your original screws that it takes to reassemble your Marx E7 engine will be in the kit. Now we're putting an extra mounting screw just in case your hole and the screw in the top of this thing are different. Marx did use a couple different size screws. And if your screw doesn't work, don't worry about it. We have a screw in this little put together kit for you. The only thing you'll need is your original screws to put your side frames back on your motor, and they are also used to mount this. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to put this in this all-state engine. I had gotten this all-state engine last year before last on eBay, and it had no motor, and the front truck was also messed up on it. I've changed the front truck out. I robbed this off of that Western Pacific engine that I junked out, and the motor, it had no motor, so I'm taking the motor, and I think I've showed you this motor before. This is the original motor out of the Rock Island rocket, and its frame had deteriorated, and that's what brought me to designing and making a substitute frame for these Marx engines. Okay, so we're gonna I reworked this motor, cleaned it up, tuned it up, oiled it, and it's ready to go. And we're going to mount this frame on it, put it in this all-state engine. It's going to be all original Marx except for the mounting frame itself. And it should be ready to go in on the road. Now, bear with me just a moment while I set the camera up. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the side frame, and we're going to put these washers on over each screw. This side frame mounts onto the gear side of the engine. Mounts onto the gear side of the engine. I don't know if you can see that or not, right across here. And so we take this side frame and we'll put it through the hose in the motor mount frame. Then we'll take it, we'll line up this little spacer that Marx has in between there and put our screws in the holes in the motor chassis. Turn it up here. Take our other side frame. Put it on. Start your nuts. Keep in mind, once again, this is all original. These are the original screws, original nuts. The only thing that's different is the mounting frame, and we're using the washers. It's important that we have the washers on there because the washers act as spacers, and they allow, with the thickness of the frame, the mounting frame itself, enough clearance, proper clearance for the wheels to turn. You see, you don't want to get it too tight. I tighten that down to show you. Now, what you might want to do, you can just back these off a turn or two, and it'll make all the difference in the world. Still got it too tight. There we go. I felt it. Make all the difference in the world. Also, if you tighten these down too tight, it'll crack your side frame. It will bust. I've had these bust. Matter of fact, this one was actually broken. It was damaged, and I repaired it. And so here we go. Now it's together. Now what you can do also is, if you still want a little more space, you get you another thin washer and you put on top of each one of these, and that will give you sufficient space. Otherwise, you just back it off a little bit if it's too tight, and you'll be just fine. All right, we take it and we put it down inside the chassis. But before we do that, we want to hook up to right here this one black wire. This is the only black wire that you'll have on a Marx engine to hook up. The only wiring. Marx does not have a lot of wiring. You take it, you put it in that clip. Set your motor in your chassis. Take your mounting screw. Put it down in the hole. Line up your motor. Take your screwdriver. Snug it up. And you're done. 10-minute, maybe less than a 10-minute fix. Now, what happened here, the wire just came back loose. And unfortunately, when these come loose, it's hard to get them back in the clip with the chassis in place. But we're going to try to do this real quickly. There we go. Again, functions from left to right, full turn, no problems. We're going to get out the test track, get it up real quick, put this